Yes, sir. You were tuned in to episode 11. Throw the Hook podcast. Your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka Guru. I got Big Bro in the building, man. Everybody favorite OG. Boxing First Vlog is in the building. What's going on, Big Bro?
Oh man, ready to get this good boxing talk in.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big shout out to the team, man. Big shout out to Ty Finney, the legend. Big shout out to him. He'll be in here shortly. Big shout out to Shane out there in the UK, probably snoozing on a pillow right now. You know what I'm saying? But big shout out to him. You know what I mean? It was about like to 11, 12 o'clock out there, close to midnight out there. So big shout out to Shane as well, man. We got a lot going on in these boxing streets, man. And it's kind of similar to the last episode. Like, we really don't know where this one's going to go because we got so much to actually cover. My bro, man, Bruce Gas in the building, man. Say salute, brothers. Bruce Gas, what's going on with you, bro? We definitely got to get you up here one day, like for sure. Like, if you're not subscribed to Bruce Gas, please subscribe to Bruce Gas, man, a boxing historian in its purest form. Great channel as well, man. Great content. Definitely go check him out. Definitely subscribe to Boxing First Vlog as well. You know what I'm saying? Uh, he's dropping more videos now, and he dropped a couple actually today and yesterday. So, stay tapped in with him as well. Put a one in the comment section if we sounding okay. Once we do that, we can go ahead and get started and chop things up. But as we always do, we're gonna cover some news first. Um, let's see. Bruce Gas says a one. It's a go. It's a go. Appreciate you, Bruce. So we have a couple of things to announce, some things that just came out. Now, some people may or may not be excited about this, but apparently Canelo Alvarez is supposed to be coming back to fight in September. Supposed to be under Turkey Al Sheikh. According to Turkey, it's supposed to be a title fight, which I find interesting. I find that very interesting, and the opponent is supposed to be a surprise. So who knows as far as Canelo is concerned. Um, I know Turkey don't like no soft opponents. So I do expect for it to be a good opponent. Like, he's not paying for too many cupcakes, and he paying Canelo a pretty good amount of money. So I'm expecting for it to be a good opponent. But Vlog, we looked at that a couple minutes before we went live, man. Like, I mean, do you think it's at 68? Do you think it's at 75? It's a title fight. I mean, any initial thoughts on who it could possibly be?
Um, nope, I absolutely have none. my my thing is, I'm worried about this Canelo team. Are they gonna all be associated with Reynoso and Valdez and all of them? Because this,
Why? Hey,
this kid,
hold on, bro. Hold on. Why'd you make that statement?
I mean, bro, that Reynoso pack is infamous, bro, and he he's technically associated with the promotion somehow, even though we all know it's Turkey money, but somehow
Right,
that promotion is quote unquote Canelo Promotions.
right.
I mean, I still find it weird to be calling a grown ass man cinnamon. So I
I
might have to get
hold
back to
on.
calling this nigga so.
Hey, hey, bro. I haven't heard too many people say that anymore. So hopefully that was just something of the past. But
No.
yeah, like I just certain things I'm just not calling another grown man. I'm with you on that, bro. I'm with you on that. My bro Jay Will in the building, man. He said, "What's up, fellas?" AJ Will, man. It's good to see you on here. Got the fires going through there, man. Big shout out to you, bro. Um, yeah, and also in the announcement, it said that it's supposed to be Mexico versus the world. So it's supposed to be everyone that's on Canelo Promotions, and then the opponents are supposed to be the world. So I don't even know who's on Canelo Promotions, to be completely honest with you. I would have the same concerns as you, Vlog, as far as that Reynoso pack. Now I don't know. Now we can't assume everyone knows what the Reynoso pack is. So let me just explain it really, really quick for the people that may not know. Now the Reynoso pack is due to a couple of fighters that Reynoso has trained, and they've popped dirty. You know, they popped dirty for the space juice, and Vlog allowed me to say that statement. You know, prior to the show. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that's where the Reynoso pack came from. That Reynoso pack is very, very, very potent. It's a potent pack. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Hold on. We got okay. Yeah. So, you know, we had to look up who's on Canelo's promotions actually to even figure out who they could be fighting. But I guess the most interesting thing about that, bro, is the title fight at 68 or is the title fight at
It can't be.
75?
It
I don't
it
know.
can't. It can't be 75 because that put him in line with Bivol, and he said he wasn't going to fight Bivol again. So, and at this point in his career, we know he's not able to beat Bivol. I don't think he. I mean, you know who it might. It could be if it's 75. It could be Baturbia.
You
It
know
could.
what? You and I think alike because I was getting ready to ask you, even though that wouldn't be a title fight, would you take? Is that one of the few fights that will be acceptable to the boxing public for Canelo?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But Baturbia was proven. So
For sure.
this would. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That would be his toughest test. That's tougher than Floyd. That's
That's
tougher
a
than him
that's
beating
a
Floyd and at that time he was physically at his most elite that he's ever been. Was in that range of fights when he had that L to Floyd. So since then it's really been slow steps backwards in my estimation. I've seen him fight the Billy Joe Tollivers or what's the boy name from over there in London?
oh Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah, yeah, Billy Joe Tolliver, like I
He
said.
called, he called him Billy Joe Tolliver.
Them type of victories, bro. You had years and years of those type of victories, and they kept putting you on this pedestal of this super elite fighter when no one was really paying attention to your skills dwindling because a few of them cats you couldn't get out of there. So then you had the trouble when you thought you were Superman stepped up with Bivol. So it's very interesting to see who he would fight. But I think that would be the best name at 175. I don't think Beterbiev can make 168. It's just too
Yeah,
much. He got too
that's
much
too
muscle. Yeah,
yeah,
he got too much
yeah,
muscle.
yeah, that would definitely be a 175. I wouldn't completely rule out Bivol only for one reason. Bivol's coming off of a back injury, and anybody that's followed boxing, fighters that come off of back injuries is extremely tricky on how they're going to look after a back injury. So Bivol is actually up to fight pretty soon. He's going to be fighting his mandatory pretty soon. So we're going to be able to see him in the ring and see how he looks in this fight. So I'm kind of curious about that as well because if he don't look great, I can see Canelo and them making a bad decision again. Because I thought they made a bad decision the first time they fought Bill.
Yeah, he had the atmosphere around him had him super souped up. He was super
Mhm.
souped up, bro. Like so,
Right.
of course, when everybody telling you God on earth, you think you can do whatever gods do, and he went out there and got proven wrong, obviously, because it wasn't an ass whooping, but it was a nice schooling situation. You know what I mean? Where you should let him know you came in the big boy yard. You should be over there in the sand pit. You know what I mean? Playing with the little kids. There's grown
Right.
men over here. So that's what he learned in that fight. So I don't think they'll push the 175 on him, especially at this stage in his career, even though it may still be tight with him making this 168. Because the older you get it, the harder it is to knock that
I,
weight off, bro.
I
So
agree with that too. That's why I was saying 175. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Especially if I don't expect for it to happen, but if David Benavidez get upset by no, that's cruiserweight. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
that's true.
Cruiserweight.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Benavid.
cruiserweight.
Ben, I
Um,
mean, that's a
no.
long time though. That is a long time.
September's a long
From
ways away, so a lot
from
can happen.
from yeah, from May to September. That's Benavidez on May 2nd. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, and
No,
and
it's 4 months. 4 months. So
and the thing is, it's like who's to say he's not going to have a fight in between in September? So, he
no,
got
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. Yeah, it's not. It's it. I don't. He don't need to. You understand what I'm saying? It's
I
not
agree with
like
that. I agree with that.
he's at that stage where he's at that Floyd stage now. Whatever he do is going to bring, put some fannies in the seat, get some eyes on the screen. So I think it's got to be a half decent name. It can't be. You know who it could be though, and I believe he would go up for that fight, Mumbilly.
But
And I think he can beat Mumbilly at 168 because Mumbilly tires a lot. So that's what I'm thinking. It is going to be somebody that comes up, but it's going to be somebody with a half decent name.
I don't know. I really don't. I really don't know. I guess if it was up to me, I think a Beterbiev fight would be good for him. I think that'd
At
be
175?
yeah. Because there's nobody at 68 that really sparks my attention, really. And I'm not
That's why
saying that there's not guys at 68 that can beat him, but I mean a combination of name and style. I don't see anybody at 68 that's
but
really
you got hold up. You got to remember it's them against the world. Remember that. So it's going to have to be somebody possibly with an international
but he
sort
also
of
said it was a
background.
champion. He also said it's going to be a championship fight too.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You have Mumbilly ain't he one of the middleweight champs right now? So him,
no, all them belts is vacant. All them belts is pretty much
except
vacant.
for Laura,
Because Crawford,
Laura.
no, I'm talking about 68. That's 60.
Oh, I know that, but what I'm telling you is when they
And
said it's
Billy's not
going
a
to be
champion at 60.
well, I know not at 68, but at 60, that's what I said. They would have some.
Either.
He ain't them one of the. I thought he had one of the middleweight belts.
Nope. And Billy
I'm gonna
not
have to look that. I'm gonna
Mhm.
have to look that up. But no, that's what I'm thinking. If it is somebody, it would be somebody with a half decent name to possibly come up, which still puts him in the A side as far as the physical matchup, and obviously him being the A side as far as the name. So it's got to be marketable. It's got to be winnable too.
That's
You see
why.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I said I don't see anybody at 68. It's some up and coming guys at 68. Don't get me wrong. There's some up and coming guys at 68, but it's not two or three names that really
I
pop out
mean,
at 68. It's
it
not
could
really.
be it could be like a ain't Morrell still hovering?
He he got to build his name back up, bro. Got to build his name back up.
We never said whoever he gets has to be a name for us, approvable by us. It has to be approvable by them, but at least a recognizable name by us. So we're spitballing through the scenario to try to dissect what they're doing. We can't. I don't even think he put this together. I think somebody was smart enough to know this dude is dwindling. We're gonna have to put a package together around him. You understand what I'm saying? He's not gonna be able to be like, yo, we could just put a few fights together and everybody will sit around for 2 hours and wait for him. It ain't cooking like that. After that past performance against a dude coming up literally coming up 2 weight divisions, that was terrible. Terrible effort, terrible output. He had to have been under 250 punches thrown for that fight. Had to.
Yeah, I mean,
so you gotta. That's what I'm saying. While we're discussing it, it's like I'm figuring out like, yo, it's got to be a winnable situation, but it's got to be approvable too, because they still answer to the fans. They still answer to these streaming networks and everything. So
Yeah, because I think the main thing that Turkey said is going to be a title fight. So I might now it's
yeah,
between and of course between now and September. I mean, a lot of things can change.
okay,
It could be some
yep.
champions that will be in play in the summer versus right now where they may not be in play. So it could be a variety of things.
I
So
mean, look, here you go right here. Don't we got Big Charlo coming up? He get a victory. That's the fight everybody had been asking for from some years ago. Anywhere at 160. Now they finally meet at 168. Just
well,
saying.
I can.
Spitballing. We
I think
spitballing.
And I mean, they really didn't give us much to go on. To
That's
be honest with you.
that's why I'm
Um,
all over the place with it. I'm
also,
just
yeah, also, and it could be for a vacant belt too. It could be for a vacant. It could
no,
be for
like
a
I get it. It's going to be a belt on the line, but I'm trying to figure out how they're going to line up somebody in title contention. So that's when I thought of the Charlo Plant situation. So
vacant.
if he is on their radar, then I look forward to automatically favoring Charlo in that fight, especially off of how Plant looked in that last fight.
Well, we'll have to. And the thing is, that fight's not even on the January 31st card.
I get back on my boxing odds and check that one out.
Yeah,
I forgot what the date was.
yeah, it was initially supposed to be on the Shakur and Tio card, but it's not on there. So I don't know if they're gonna give it their own date with their own with their own card. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with that. You know what I'm saying? But
Oh, you know what? Yeah, we keep moving, but yeah, I was thinking that they might put it on that what's that card they got coming up on the Paramount?
Which one?
The PBC card. Who they got on there again? We were talking about it yesterday, and it slipped my mind already. All these cards coming up.
Whatever card it is, if that's not the main event, I would really like to know what the main event gonna be.
No, I would think that would. That's
would be
why
the
they
main
probably,
event.
yeah, that's why they held it back from being like an undercard sort of fight. I think Charlo name's still bigger than to be third in line on a fight card. You know what I mean? I think he's still a co-main.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you know.
That for sure. So we're gonna definitely continue to look into that. But I guess kind of moving forward, the thing that is really on the top of news, and we don't really like talking about this stuff, or like we don't take any pride in talking about these things. But one of the most popular boxers in the sport, Gervonta Tank Davis, is wanted by them folks, by them boys. Apparently, he had a domestic dispute, and I think it's Miami-Dade County has issued a warrant for his arrest for domestic violence. This is not the first time that Tank has gone through something like this. He's actually been on camera before grabbing a chick and kind of, moving them in a direction they didn't want to move to. So to say this is surprising, I'd be lying to you. Now, of course, he's innocent till proven guilty. They're saying that they got camera footage and all that other good stuff. But I guess from a boxing standpoint, vlog with Tank going through all of these things, and this was an issue because he was the original person that was supposed to fight Jake Paul, and that fight didn't happen, and now you have this going on. Do you see Tank recovering from this and getting back to the level he's supposed to be at in boxing, or do you see him taking kind of a nosedive and being compared to guys like Adrian Broner that didn't really reach their full potential?
If his career ended right now, he's not a Hall of Famer, but he can be remembered. He will always be talked about. He'll always be invited to, if we still doing podcasts in 15 years, he'll still, be that name. So I don't think he's had a bad career, but if you really look at it, I'm looking at it from a different point of view. I think this would actually help us as fans, because It's in a rough state. Don't get me twisted. Florida hard. Florida do not play. That's a Republican state. They hit you with the whole jail if they got to. So they will slap you with some time, but it's not so egregious as whereas though he put hands and feet. So if I'm thinking if Floyd got out of that little thing with a little kind of tap on the wrist, slap on the wrist thing, it could be a sort of like a motivation for this dude to be like, yo, I'm in here dancing in closets. I'm doing too much without doing what got me here. So I think it might get him back to the sport. A little bit more time for us as fans to have to wait. But it's that, you know what I mean, that slap across the face that a young boy need, because he's still a young boy. He ain't no old head, you know what I mean, that should really, really, you know what I mean, have been grown up. That's what I'm saying. He's still, he's still trying to hang with these. Yeah, he's still trying to hang with the cats younger than him. So, you know what I mean? He just got to grow up, you know what I mean? So I think if he got to sit down for a few months or whatever, it'll do him right.
Yeah, I mean, if they got camera action on it, and this is kind of a recurring theme, I think he does need to sit down in some way, shape, or form. It doesn't necessarily mean jail, but when sometimes like these celebrities, they spiral out of control sometimes, and I feel like when they get to that point, they need to sit down before they get themselves hurt or get somebody else hurt. And Tank may just be at that point, in his life, and him being one of the premier names in the sport, you know, he got to get himself, together at the end of the day. Because if you had to say, hey, who could you put on the pay per view, and they're gonna garner that attention, like Tank is one of them guys. Tank is one of them guys, and he's been one of them guys for the past couple years. So he's probably going to have to sit down. Do you think he fights in 2026? You think Tank Davis fights in 2026?
If it is, it will be towards the end of the year. Probably make him sit down for the summer. You know what I mean? Cool your heels. You ain't gonna be out here on none of these beaches. You're gonna be looking at them from one of them county cell blocks. But yeah, and they're doing dirty, throwing him up in general pop, and they do not play in Florida, bro. It's some horror stories on this internet about the Florida jail. So, best of luck to him though. I mean, he got enough. I would think he has enough money, whereas though he can financially handle the bill that's getting ready to come, because all that court stuff, and obviously you're gonna have to pay a little bit, not no, I wouldn't say hush money anymore, but just grievance. You're gonna have to pay for her grievances. So you know what I mean? They talking about pictures. And she ain't jack around. This wasn't no month later. She went like the next day or like a day and a half later or something after hollering at our lawyer. They got pics. They got people that say they witnessed it from the strip club that was out there in that parking lot. So it's not a good look, but it's not like he actually, like I said, was putting hands and foots on her. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you see, sometimes you grab your girl a little bit, like, yo, you kind of getting out of pocket. You might grab her arm, and you might grab her around the shoulder, like, yo, you out here bugging. Don't put me on blast like that. So I don't want to say it's not nothing, but I don't want to, act like, it's the end of the world for the man either. Like they out there with the press conference, like this mother better hit out on Trump or something.
And I'm glad you said that, because I actually want to play the actual conference. Let me know if you can hear.
Incident that occurred on October 27, 2025. According to the victim's statement, at approximately 4:15 a.m. while working, the victim was approached by Mr. Davis. The victim reported that Mr. Davis grabbed her by her back of her head, pulling her by her hair with one hand and by her throat with the other. He forcefully escorted her down a stairway and toward the parking garage while maintaining his grip on the back of her head. Upon reaching the parking garage, the victim reported that Mr. Davis released her, at which point she was able to run towards her coworkers for safety. The victim further reported that she has known Mr. Davis since 2022, and they were previously involved in an intimate relationship for approximately 5 months, which ended about a month prior to the incident. Lead detective Gary Florencio obtained and reviewed video surveillance footage that corroborates key elements of the victim's statement. As a result of the diligent and hard work of our special victims unit, an arrest warrant has been issued for Javante Bryant Davis on the following charges: battery, false imprisonment, and attempted kidnapping. The investigation determined that Mr. Davis used force to restrain and attempt to remove the victim from the location against her will. At this time, the Miami Gardens Police Department is actively working with the United States Marshals Fugitive Task Force to locate and apprehend Mr. Davis. We are here to address a domestic.
Hey, there it is, right there. So got multiple charges. You know, it's just
can we be real though? That's too much, bro. You done laid the whole case out. Like, bro, what are you, a lawyer? like, bro.
He laid that thing right out.
Bro, that is too much, bro. You're doing too much. You're just supposed to get up there, announce the warrant. You know what I mean? Let everybody know if they see him, call this number, blah, blah, blah. You up there with come on, bro. Come on.
Let me get in these comments real quick. We got Timmy in the building, man. Big shout out to you, family. Said same story with Tank since 2020 when he gripped that woman up at the basketball game. That's the video that I was talking about. I mean, he definitely had her by the armpit and was like, hey, let's go to the back. And she ain't want to go to the back. So, it sounds like it might be a similar situation to that, but as Vlog said, like Florida, that's a tough place to be doing that at because they'll throw a half a book at you for sure. He said, Timmy also said AB is a four division champion. He has accomplished more than Tank. From a belt standpoint, absolutely. And I think that Broner doesn't get enough credit for the stuff that he has accomplished. That he did when he was at his peak. He was aiming for the stars. He didn't reach the stars, but he was still in the sky. You know what I'm saying? So he did accomplish a good amount, in his career.
I would say he was aiming for the stars. He for surely jumped off the planet. Now, did he get to them stars? We can say hell no, but he definitely took a leap off this planet trying to get there, bro.
Yeah, he took a leap off trying to get there for sure, man. But you're dealing with a guy like Broner, the negative stuff be a lot more entertaining in the media. So, of course, people to talk about his shortcomings before his four titles. But Timmy, no, that's a good point. Also, Timmy, Tank is 31, not young anymore. He should have grown up by now. I know some older knuckleheads for sure. So the number really doesn't matter. You would think, that he would not be doing certain things, but he from Baltimore. You a hood dude, man. Like some things just gonna travel with you. You know what I mean? And it's just like just because you're a certain number age doesn't mean that you don't have things that you're fighting through, things that you need to address and take care of just in your life. Is he 30 or 31? Well, he's at least 30. But boxing wise, he will be going into his physical prime at 30, 31. So he don't have time to waste because of his whole game is speed and explosiveness and power. And the older you get, that speed and explosiveness is going to go down a little bit. So Tank really only got like a good 3-year window, really 3 to 4 year window where he can be like up here because he already short, don't have long arms. He seems to have a little trouble with boxers, definitely had trouble in the Lamont Roach fight. So, you just hope he gets himself together just as a man so he can actually do what he's here to do, which is get in the ring and actually fight. But you know, you a hood dude, you gonna have stuff to travel with you for your whole life, man. Timmy said Tank violates probation, and depending on what this evidence look like, Tank could be going away 6 months to a year. He is going to run into the wrong judge. I think I think whenever we get in front of a judge, it's always the wrong judge. Like, you know what I mean? It's
No,
but
you know what leads his statement to be correct is the way they put him on blast.
it's
All of
selective.
that. Yeah, but that the way they laid the case out, bro, that's when they looking to get something more than just some
Sure.
cash about you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm talking about they trying to slap him. It's
They
just,
trying to make
you
a
know,
name for themselves. They trying to make a
yeah,
name for themselves. You know what I mean? The
bro.
prosecutor and all that, like they trying to make a name for themselves for sure.
If they didn't, we'd be have to be in another country if they didn't. But obviously we not in another country, so you know
Right.
what the agenda is. That's all.
This is the comment of the night that I'm about to put on here. Big shout out to Fredo, man. He said you got to stop looking for love at the strip club, man. Got to stop looking for love at the strip club, man. I agree with that 100%. Can't be looking for
Man.
love at the strip club, man. Like that's nasty. That's nasty. That's nasty work right there. That's nasty work, man. You gotta throw your ones up and get up out of there. You
You
know
know
what I
what
mean?
that you know what that is? That's all them years of boxing, and he missed out on that young Mackin. Plus, he was at that point coming up where he wasn't getting chosen. So now
Right.
he got a little change, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, damn, I'm still not really getting chosen. So it's kind of like you see a little aggression with him as far as that situation is concerned. But if his peas was his peas, it wouldn't matter how you look. You understand me? Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you got to stay posing to be chosen. You're digging it, all of jewelry and all of that. It's your aura, baby. It don't matter how big, how little. I know some fat peas. You understand me? And
Mm-hmm.
they swagger is so high level that women will look past that just to be around that and have that good vibes that cats are supposed to put out to draw these women to them. You understand me? You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm. Right.
That gorilla pimping, man, we stopped that in the early 90s, bro. What is you out here doing, bro? Like,
Yeah, yeah. That's that strong arm pimping right there, boy.
man, that's too
Yeah,
much. That's too
yeah,
much.
that's a fact, man. So hopefully he does run into the right judge where he doesn't get, like the book thrown at him. I could definitely see him getting 6 months to a year though. I could definitely see that happening for sure. But we ain't gonna be rapping all night about Tank Davis, man. Whatever you got going on, bro, get your shit together. Like you got every time you get step in the ring, man, it's M's. It's M's involved, man. You messing up the
Hey,
gravy train, bro.
hey, he gonna have some makeup to do. So I expect to see him at least a couple times in the next year or so, at least 2 fights. He gonna have some makeup to do. He ain't gonna have no choice.
And listen, with PBC without Tank, oh my god, they don't have
Listen,
anything cooking.
hey, I'm sure them folks at Paramount been on the phone with Uncle Al, like, yo, what's good over there, bro? Y'all just made this deal, baby. You know what I'm saying? What's good? So Uncle
But
Al and them scrambling right now, I'm sure.
and that's the thing, like they have this, and I'm glad you said that. You got the Amazon deal, you got the Paramount deal. Those deals are based off of what superstar power can you put on our lens. PBC just doesn't have any superstar power to put on a lens at the moment. Like they're not in it for the hardcore fights. Unfortunately, they're not in it for the hardcore fights. This is not a HBO. This is not a Showtime. This is not, a Tuesday night fights back in the day, like where they are invested and they're known for their boxing content. I think these are the type deals they're looking for lightning in a bottle. You're not getting lightning in a bottle without a guy like Tank. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he's messing up some major bread. He's messing up some major bread, not only for himself but for other people as well, man. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. If it plays out in his favor, like Vlog said, he's gonna have to jump in the ring at least 2-3 times within I would say a year to maybe 12 to 16 months to really maximize. He's in a race against time. His age and just there's fighters catching up. There's fighters that I don't think Tank want to see inside the ring. You have your Lamont Roaches, you have your Shakurs. He would have trouble with a Tiafimo. There's a lot of guys in that 35, 40 range that them waters is looking a little dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Them waters is looking real dangerous. You know what I mean?
Choppy. They choppy.
Them waters is real choppy. They definitely choppy. But speaking of 135 and 140, of course, we got the huge card January 31st. Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, and Vlog. We talked about this a little bit earlier. That card is pretty good outside of the main event too, and we haven't really got a chance to really chop it up. As far as that undercard, what I want to do is I want to actually bring up the actual card, if you don't mind. I actually want to show what the entire card is. So let me go ahead and go do that. Let's see. Can you see that, bro?
I see the screen. You're gonna have to read the card out to everybody, bro.
I got you. All right, so we got Keyshawn Davis versus Jermaine Ortiz. We got Bruce Shoo Carrington versus Carlos Castro. That's a good fight.
Castro's tough.
Yeah, Castro's tough. Carlos Adames versus Austin Williams. Another good fight. Jarrell Big Baby Miller versus Kingsley eBay. That's a good fight. And we got Kevin Castillo on the card as well. So out of all those fights, bro, like what fight actually intrigues you as far as that card is concerned?
Who I'm pulling for? I ain't gonna lie, bro. He got one of the best nicknames in boxing. He done took it from Beefy. Shoo, bro. That's who I'm pulling for on the card. You know what I mean? I ain't no New York boy like that. I'm from the city, so. But on the strength, the boy I like his boxing game. You know what I mean? Kind of remind me of Zab a little bit. Maybe that's just that it's in the DNA up that way. You know what I mean? So he fight. He got heart. You know what I mean? I think he's a edge better all around skills than somebody like a Ford. You know what I mean? So, but still good. Still still got improvement. So he's who I really got my eye on. But that's a nice little test. That's you going up against a true vet that's been in the weight class, dipping and dodging around that weight class. So I don't think it's going to be a problem as far as your opponent being so much bigger than you or having to lose so much weight. So I think he's going to definitely have to be on his P's and Q's with a solid vet like that. But I'm really looking for an upset in this Ortiz Keyshawn Davis situation, bro. I really think it's going to be an upset, bro. I think karma is a mother. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Karma is a mother. Bro, he's working hard. He is working hard, doing self-promotions, running around, talking to everybody, whoop-de-whooping. You understand me? And there's nothing wrong with that. But through some of that, it's a lot of nitpicking we could do, which is not necessary, but I think a lot of that kind of comes back to pay itself forward. So he's going to have to watch his step going forward, definitely maybe rein himself in a little bit. Some of the things he's saying, a lot of the little moves he's making, I disagree with, but like this is a younger class of dudes, you know what I mean? He probably jumped off the porch earlier than I did. I have no idea. So I'm just saying, bro, I'm thinking though. I think this might be a real major test. If we looking for that upset, I'm in your lane. Old boy gonna have to be 40 to 50% more offenses than he has been. So let's just say he put up 250 to 300 punches a fight. Are we gonna need 350 to 375, pushing 400 for him to actually show why he should win the fight if he don't get knocked out? You know, anybody can get knocked out.
Well, them I mean that 350 to 4, I mean that's more of a punch volume for the heavier fighters. You know, guys is fighting at 35 and 40. They punch output should be anywhere between that 50 range and up. So he's gonna have to pump out a good amount of shots.
I was just using that as just a base number. Like,
oh, for
it
sure,
wasn't
for sure.
saying
For sure.
like
I
yeah. So
I got you. I got you. Yeah, he's gonna have to kick out 30 to 40% more offense than he usually does. In this fight,
he's gonna have to. You know what it boils down to, bro. And I'm still pulling for him, but it actually means he's gonna have to take chances. That's what we're talking about. He's going to have to take chances. He's a good boxer, but he boxes when there's openings, and then he kind of shells up. Like, you can't wait for the opening. You actually got to create it.
You got to create the opening. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
You know what they doing. They pulling hands down. So pull a hand down and let something fly, bro. Do all of this stuff that's going on in boxing right now, bro. He's really. I'm not a fan of Keyshawn Davis, so you know what I mean. But I don't want the little brother lose, like get knocked out or anything. But I think like a loss won't hurt him either. That's the crazy shit. If he loses this fight, it will not hurt him.
See, I disagree with that. I think the laws do hurt him. And the reason I say that, bro, is because if Keyshawn loses this fight, now it depends on how he loses. If it's a tight competitive fight and it leads to a rematch, then it's not that bad of a thing. But if Ortiz goes in and dog walks him, that's a bad loss. That's a bad loss.
No, we know I'm hedging on a technical victory, 1-2 rounds. You know, you put your foot on the gas in the 11th and 12th or whatever it is. Because is it an interim or something going on for them, or is it a regular 10 rounder? I don't know. You saw the.
It's just a regular.
You know, they always throwing somebody an international belt. You see how they pad it.
It's probably some international belt on the line.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So if it's
look again.
Yeah, so in that aspect, thinking it is for one of them type of belts, one of those NABFs or something of that nature, it's a 12-rounder. You want to do like Ortiz to win those championship fights. I mean, those championship rounds. So that's where I'm looking for a edge from him. Just really outboxing down the line.
A vlog. I'm gonna get into because Legend in the comment section, but Jermaine Ortiz was actually on the show with Andre Ward and Roy Jones. They doing big things over there. Big shout out to both of them. So it's actually a clip with Jermaine Ortiz. I actually wanted to play for you, and for everyone watching as well. But in this corner podcast, man, my guy Ty Finney, the Legend in the building, says salute my guys. Got caught up and couldn't make it, but I think Tank needs some good mentors. Even if he does have mentors, he's probably not listening or applying the advice. So, Legend, I'm glad you actually said that, because Tank has been around good people since he was a kid, from a boxing standpoint. Just because you're around good people don't mean that you listening. And I'm glad you made that statement, because he's had a lot of good people. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Yeah, like his coaches is good people. The people around him are good people, and he's also been around Floyd and that camp as well, which is surrounded by good, solid dudes as far as trainers and things like that. So it's sometimes you could be surrounded by good people. Sometimes if you a knucklehead, you just a knucklehead. You a knucklehead around everybody. Go ahead, bro.
you brought up Floyd. That's what happened. I think he kind of went and veered off a bit because he had no one to answer to. Not that Floyd was his boss, but Floyd is, being the face of the Money Mayweather promotions and everything that they was building. He kind of had somebody to answer to, so maybe we didn't see the cut up as early in the game as we kind of seeing now.
I see what you mean. Like that authoritative figure.
Yeah, like
he's the CEO of his own thing. He's CEO of his own thing. So yeah, I got you. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, and I think that's where Tank probably needs to make that transition, because these guys, they're so wrapped up into being quote unquote hood or whatever you want to call it. Every move you make is costing. It's a 7-figure mistake. It's a 7-figure mistake. Like if Tank's not in this situation, we're probably talking about Tank getting a fight. Maybe March vlog. Definitely first quarter. Definitely first quarter 2026. And whenever Tank steps in the ring, is an automatic 7 figures. So automatic 7 figures. I don't care what's going on. I don't care who the chick is. No chick is worth me messing up a 7-figure check. Like that's crazy.
Hey, this the reason.
It's
interesting because that happened during the setup for the fight with old boy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like his
Paul spoke on that too, though.
Like I don't know when the physical altercation happened as far as the timing with the promotion and the buildup, but I'm talking about like his issues with old girl. It was kind of like maybe it was kind of known within those circles that they run in, and people know people, and she talk, and you know how that go. You know what I mean? And he ain't the only person she's sleeping with, so
for sure.
I think it got back, and it just didn't help him. You know what I mean? As far as really finalizing that, but actually, this situation bailed Jake Paul out, because if he would have got knocked out by a small dude like Tank compared to getting knocked out by a big dude like AJ, it looks way different. So it's a little bit of reverse effect to help Jake Paul save face to a certain extent. Because I think Tank would have knocked him out too.
Wow. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah,
but I want to play this. I want to play this for you real quick, bro. This is the clip with Jermaine Ortiz being on the show with Roy Jones and Andre Ward. Can you see it on the screen, bro? All right, play it now.
Had a title shot, man. You fought elite level competition, man, but you've yet to win that world title. Are you eyeing this fight as that fight to catapult you into that position to get you another title fight?
Yeah, it is, man. In boxing, opportunities don't just keep coming. And, this is another chance at me defeating a top prospect, somebody with a name. And once I beat Keyshawn, I think the sky's the limit for me. And I think I'll get another shot at a world title.
As much as you can give us, how does Jermaine Ortiz fight a Keyshawn Davis?
I think Jermaine just got to be Jermaine. I don't really fight or adjust to fight somebody else's style. I stay in my style. I fight how I fight. And they got to adjust to me. I don't adjust to somebody else.
Is Keyshawn the best fighter you fought to date, you think? Or have you fought fighters that are better?
No, I fought fighters way better.
Who you think was better than Keyshawn?
Lomachenko, Teofimo. I'm pretty sure I've had some other non-big names that were tougher than him,
Okay. So he shouldn't be able to offer you nothing that you haven't seen before?
No. Not at all.
That will give you confidence?
I think I'm his toughest competition in the pros. I don't think he's fought anybody on my level in the professional ranks. I just know I'm faster than him. I got more mobility than him. I'm bigger than him. I'm stronger than him. And all that's going to come play on January 31st.
You've had a title shot, man. You fought elite level competition, man, but you've yet to win that world title. Are you eyeing this fight as that fight to catapult you into?
So that was Jermaine Ortiz. on the show with Roy Jones and Andre Ward. Again, big shout out to them too for conducting that interview. Um, just listening to Jermaine Ortiz, man. What was your thoughts?
I hope that was a little bit of psychology, because that's part of the game too. You got to play a little bit of mind games, especially pre-fight. So him saying he doesn't adjust, he kind of makes people adjust to him.
I ain't like that comment,
bro. I'm gonna tell you why I ain't like it. Obviously, that hasn't worked for you before. So
right.
So maybe we gotta do something different, Playboy.
We gotta tweak that a little bit.
Yeah,
tweak that a little bit.
It's like if you keep adding 2 + 2 + 2, and you keep coming up with 8. Maybe you might need to switch your 2 around, and it might come out to 6 somehow. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. He got to do something different because that made no sense. This is why I listen. I don't ever jump off the roof and be like, "Yeah, Jermaine, hold up, bro. You said what? Come again? Beg your pardon." If I'm timeout. If I'm his representative, I'm over there on the side. Time out. Edit that, bro. We don't want to say that, bro. God damn. Oh shit. That was that. Yeah, bro. That was a little funny to me, but he sounds very confident. But again, that's the only thing I would say, yo. You have to change. You have to become the bully. You have to walk this young man down. If you trying to prove everything you just said, that means you're changing your game.
Well, I mean, if that's how he feels, where he don't adjust to other people, that explains some things. That explains some things in terms of his struggles. In terms of some of his struggles. So Jermaine Ortiz, like just a quick message. That's what the elite fighters do. Like they impose their will, and when they can't impose their will, they find a way to work around that and adapt to the situation that they're in.
Who don't have to do that? And there's only one person on the planet who does not have to do what we're talking about.
I know what you're getting ready to say. I was waiting for you to say it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we all know Jerron Boots Ennis does not have to adjust. There is no overcoming this obstacle. There is no obstacles out there for this dude, bro. So I'm just saying, when you're not Jerron, you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to maybe say, okay, jabbing in the first round, I'm a walking down in the second. I might take a step back in the third, catch my breath. Use the legs. You have to be able to be diversified to overcome these situations, or you're going to keep taking these step-up fights, because this is technically a step-up fight. It's a big name, obviously a bigger name than you, even though you've been in with, main event fights and title opportunities in the past. And it just hasn't worked out because you got to put the foot on the gas, bro. You got to be the F-150 in this fight. Kicking up dust, homie. Driving forward, bro. You got to be a four-wheel drive in this fight, bro. He has to be.
I like that. Talking that talk. I like that. Yeah. And the thing with Jermaine Ortiz, it's, he always leaves food on the plate, man. If you lose and there's no food on the plate, man, like everything that flew off the plate, man, you done tried absolutely everything, then I'm okay with it. But he always leaves food on the plate. When he fought Lomachenko, left food on the plate. Fought Teofimo Lopez, left food on the plate. And the Teofimo Lopez fight was for the taking. It was for the taking. Man, that fight was for the taking.
Technically, bro. Yeah,
he was technically. Hey, bro, he was supposed to ride like an F-150. He was riding like a Tesla in that fight, bro. You understand what I'm saying?
Bro, he act like they was gonna have a halftime in that fight or something, bro. Like, yeah, in the second half, After we come from back out the locker room, I'm gonna be ready to go. It's like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Go now. Because Teofimo has those lows. This is the same situation. We gonna speak on Shakur here shortly. That Teofimo has those lows, and which is a little bit different from Lomachenko. Lomachenko just starts a little slower. Throughout the fight, Teofimo has lows that you could just literally take advantage of and win these rounds. Literally, you could just take advantage. As long as you're busier, everything technically don't have to land. He didn't do any of that. He stood pretty. He stood his ground sometimes. He didn't get backed up as much physically. He just backed up, giving space. But it wasn't like Teofimo was blowing him down or something, or, you know, like shoot shotguns at him or something. So it just was there, like you said, it was there for the taking. We sitting there looking at the fight. I'm like, bro, punch this dude in the mouth. But it's so I'm hoping, I'm hoping there's a different bit of motivation, and this is a little bit of psychology game that he's playing, saying, yo, I don't have to do nothing different. Then that could be saying, okay, then he gonna come forward, and then he gonna run into a brick wall. Because like he said, he's bigger. I don't know if he's faster. What's the name is okay. He got decent speed, but he's not like, you know, super fast as far as like letting his hands go like that. He can be quick with one shot, but he's not quick combination wise.
Yeah,
if
Jermaine's not careful, bro, if he's not careful, if Keyshawn, let's just say we assuming he brings his physical strength to 140, it stays the same. If Jermaine Ortiz walks into this fight with that same mentality, like I don't have to change anything, eventually he's going to end up getting walked down in this fight.
I'm so glad you said that. That's going to look even worse because you're getting walked down technically by the smaller guy.
Fact.
That's going to look bad. So you don't even want to give that to the judges.
Fact.
And let's just say nothing's really happening. But if he's stepping to you, double stepping to you and getting close, that looks bad, bro. It's like, damn, why are you giving up space to the little dude? And he ain't even really letting his hands go because we know, like I said, that that Keyshawn is really not big combination guy unless he kind of got you off the ropes, kind of knows you're backpedaling a little bit. Then he'll get close and let his hands go a little bit. But he's more like a one-shot dude, really looking for that clean opening. And there's nothing wrong with that style. I'm not mad at his style. It works for him. But what's the name got to punch in between all of that nonsense, getting off more shots, backing up the smaller guy technically. But we don't know. We'll have to really see come fight night because old boy didn't show up at his last fight. So we really don't know what he looked like.
Yeah, I'm hoping, like you said, like that was just some psychology games that Jermaine Ortiz is playing, but I honestly hope he doesn't think like he's not adjusting to somebody else's style and he's just gonna do what he's doing, because that leads to your plan B is your plan A, and usually with guys like that don't have a plan B and a plan C, they don't reach world level. Part of what makes a Shakur great is because he can adjust. Makes guys like Floyd and Andre Ward and Roy Jones, all these guys, they know how to adjust to what's in front of them. But on top of that, still keep their style, still keep their core style, and still be able to operate the way they usually do. But they make little tweaks and adjustments, things like that. Like you can't, if this football, you can't run your first 15 scripted plays the whole goddamn game. You gotta adjust at some point. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gotta adjust at some point, man. So I hope that was just talk. And but that adds an extra element to watching this fight, because now I'm like, once Keyshawn brings something to the table, I'm like, if Jermaine Ortiz doesn't adjust, now I know why. Yeah. It may not be a factor. Go ahead.
I was thinking I saw a couple I think about 6 here recent within the last week or so of Keyshawn fights. He really hasn't fought anybody with an offensive jab.
Are we talking about Keyshawn? Keyshawn hasn't fought anyone?
Okay. Yeah, he hasn't fought somebody that really sets up what they do off the jab. That's going to be different for him in this fight because that's something I can legitimately say Ortiz does do. When he gets going, he starts with the jab. So if he can really control the pace, set the good distance, he might be able to keep Keyshawn a little bit more defensive minded than Keyshawn coming into the fight thinking he wants to be.
Jermaine
The jab
does
is the
have a
key.
good jab. Yeah, Jermaine has a good jab when he rolling. The one thing that I will say about Jermaine Ortiz's jab, you can't throw a single jab out there with Keyshawn. You're gonna have to double or triple up the jab. If you're gonna throw a
Agree.
single shot, if you're gonna throw a single shot, you do need to make sure the distance is right because Keyshawn will counter over the top. He's a good counter puncher. Hasn't been too many times where he really had to show it, but you could tell by watching him fight, he's a good counter puncher, and you can't just throw just a typical
He wants
jab
you.
at him. He wants you to throw a single jab.
Yeah.
Every good fight, every really good fighter that's a counter puncher, they're waiting for a lazy jab so they can come over the top. That's typical. I mean, we talking. One of the greatest to ever do it was James Toney.
Oh my God.
He came into every fight with the same strategy. We looking for a lazy jab so we can come over the top. And I'm talking slip, you slip the jab, you come over the top. He was doing that at 60, 68, 75, heavyweight. You're looking for something lazy so you can come over the top. And if Jermaine Ortiz is not careful, like he's gonna be in situations where he's gonna be throwing the lazy jab, and Keyshawn's gonna come right over the top with it. But sometimes it only takes 2 or 3 of them shots to get into your opponent's head too. Be like, oh, damn, I can't just throw that one jab.
You know what jab I'm thinking of be the bad jab that we talk about? It's that going backwards jab. You know how like Keyshawn's gonna plot forward somehow. He's gonna try to cover space somehow. And I think if he catches Ortiz with that little stay off me jab that I'm going, he's fast enough to be able to make him eat some leather for that. So those are the situations when we talking counter off the jab, do something crazy off a weak jab. That's a dangerous scenario in my mind of where Ortiz, because I'm thinking of all the fights where he's kind of backed up, but he's still been trying to show, I'm still fighting. But you know what I mean? You have a style that you have to push forward to do that. So, because he's not really a counter puncher.
Hey, bro, you know the thing is crazy. Going into this fight, I was like, if Jermaine Ortiz is gonna win this fight, he's gonna have to make adjustments on the fly. And then after I heard that, bro, I'm just like, goddamn, bro. Because I'm sitting up here contemplating, like, okay, can Jermaine actually pull the upset? And the main thing that I would need for him to do for me to be like, yo, I'm gonna give him a legit shot of pulling off the upset. He just said he don't do it. He just said he don't do it. Like, he killing me, bro. He is killing me, but it's still going to be an interesting fight, man, for sure. Looking forward to it. Obviously, we'll get into Shakur and Teofimo the closer it gets to the fight. We'll probably do 1 or 2 shows just dedicated towards the main event and really breaking down the technical stuff with that fight as well. So we definitely looking forward to that. That should be one of the bigger cards of the year. And it's only, it's a January card. That card is stacked.
You know what that card does? It makes all these other fight makers and these matchmakers step their game up. That's that type of card. If it pans out the way we anticipating it does, because of the boxing styles, the matchups, the names that they're able to put together, it should make everybody else really step their game up and try at minimum stay on par. Because it's not a bad card.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I don't really purchase too many cards, man. I'm actually gonna go support this one because I'm not gonna be able to go to the fight, but I'm actually put a purchase in for this one.
But we got real quick though, bro. I don't know if everybody know this is a Ring Magazine event. Ring Magazine has been atrocious for what they do in the sport and how they choose to move in the sport and some of the things that they
Can you kind of speak on that for the people that don't know, like what exactly are they doing? If it's too much, if you could highlight maybe like one or two things that you think they're doing.
all right, let's say like right now they have this fight. This is literally probably can be and still gonna be at the end of the year one of the top 2-3 biggest fights that we have in 2026. At minimum, I'll even go to top 5, but right now it's in the top 3 automatically because it's literally the first big fight of the year. So obviously number 1, but let's just round and say top 3. That being said, they're not promoting this fight. They do things like they just had the magazine out. They have Bam Rodriguez on there with a shadow pick of Ione on some fantasy type of fight. When you literally have a legacy defining fight for both of these guys that you're hosting. You guys are hosting this. This is based on y'all promotion and whatever y'all doing with Turkey, and it's a ring event because it's ring 6. So come on, bro. Like this weird, bro. This is kind of weird.
I guess so you just have more of an issue just as far as like the promotion aspect from there.
Just how they move, bro. They real funny style, bro. They you know what I'm saying? They real funny style how they move. Like they did the same thing when Crawford won. They didn't put Crawford on the magazine. He just went 3rd division undisputed. How he wasn't on the face of your magazine? They put they put a Latino fighter up there. I'm like, what the? Wow. Then look, and this is where they really dirty. You gonna tell me that Hamza Shiraz and Edgar Berlanga is a main event over Shakur Stevenson and Zapata? Zapata was on a KO run at the time. Shakur Stevenson, one of the best defensive fighters in the game. That is a hellified matchup. There's no way in the world, and it was for a world title. How is that not your main event? And they did that on purpose. They set that up last minute and adjusted that card to make sure Shakur Stevenson did. They doing them dirty right now. He's the one that's doing his own little Shakur Stevenson promotions thing, and they got the boys in the gym working, and they helping to keep some traction going for the fight coming up. Ring Magazine ain't doing none of this. This man, Max Kellerman, he worked for Ring Magazine. You would think he'd be talking this fight up. He talking to Tiger Johnson about what's going on in welterweight division.
I seen that interview. I seen it.
Bro, what? Bro, then this the same dude that just said Manny Pacquiao is the 2nd greatest fighter of all time.
Well, I ain't gonna get in all that.
What I'm saying. No, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna land it right now. I'm about to park it right now. Why I say that is because this tells you what you're dealing with over there. From their director, that dude Rick Bino or Reno or Danino, that dude that with the comb over that looked like Herman Munster. This goofy. These dudes, like, this is what they do over there. This is why we not seeing the buildup for this fight, bro. Because this truly is a legacy fight. Because this could be Teofimo last little dance as far as like, showing, yo, I'm the man. I still got that moxie.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie, bro. If Teofimo pulls off this upset, bro, and you got Lomachenko and you got Shakur on your list,
Would he be better? Hold up. Then we'll just keep it regional, or we'll keep it, geographical. Would he be the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time?
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say that. But
okay. Well, but the way you was just about to go into them 2 victories as if it was really.
Well, all right.
That's what I'm saying. I'm
gonna park mine too. If he wins against Shakur, this would put him on a path. And now, of course, he would have to do more. But guys that make it to the Hall of Fame, they have signature victories They have legendary victories in their career. For him to have possibly Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson on his jacket, if he travels the rest of his career the way he's supposed to, he's in the hall. He's in the hall. He's in the hall.
Even with some greasy losses like Kambosos.
Well, that's the only greasy loss that he has.
Oh, they did give him that last fight, huh? I thought that was a draw. I thought they said he was a draw. That dull ass fight he had with the Mexican boy.
Yeah, that was a dub. That was a dub.
So
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. If he pulls off this upset, and then he basically traveled. Let's just say he wins the title at 47. Let's say he wins the title at 47. He would have a Hall of Fame argument. He would have a Hall of Fame argument. But yeah, I got you. So what I'm gonna do, while he got the airplanes going, I actually want to, because this topic is still hot. Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Boots Ennis. Now, I put out a video, I think it might have been a day or two ago. I put out a video, and it was a back and forth that Vlog and I was having in regards to not Jermaine Ortiz, but Virgil Ortiz and Jerron Boots Ennis, the whole 60-40 split, what Oscar De La Hoya was talking about, and things like that. So what I actually want to play is Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn actually spoke on the negotiations between himself, Boots Ennis, his camp, and Virgil Ortiz promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, his manager, and DAZN. So I'm gonna play the clip for you guys just so you can see it, just to hear what Eddie Hearn had to say. I found it interesting for sure. So I'm gonna play this for you guys. Give me just a second.
Oscar, Golden Boy and those guys, they made us a written offer for Boots against Ortiz. 55% for Ortiz and 45% for Jerron Ennis. I went back to Golden Boy. This is, I don't know, 4 months ago, whatever it was. And I said, Ortiz isn't a world champion. Jerron Ennis is a world champion and unified, but he's moving up, so he no longer has a belt. He sells bucket loads of tickets in Philly. Ortiz is really popular in Texas. I think it's 50-50. We sat in a room with DAZN, me, Oscar, Eric Gomez, Pete, and Jared, right, from DAZN. We all agreed on the deal. And I'll say it because obviously Oscar's, 50-50 and 5% for the winner. Okay? So basically 55-45 to the winner. We all agreed and we left the room to make the deal. Oscar Gold.
So that was the video from Eddie Hearn talking about the negotiations behind the scenes for this fight with Jerron Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz. Just listening to that vlog, what was your thoughts on that?
Well, he basically supported everything I broke down in my video. So for everybody in the chat, slide to the channel and peep how I broke down Old Boy resume. He is currently on his route to the Hall of Fame because he's the interim international champion of all time. So that's no slap to him. That's your boy jaw jacking, your boy Oscar Funny Style La Hoya. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you talking about? The man clearly, and look, Oscar's so bad at it. When he did his numbers, he never explained how he got to the 105. He just said 60-40 plus 5. Like
Yeah.
he never was like winner take the 5. You know what I mean? So
Right. He basically should have said the winner's gonna get 55%, the loser's gonna get 45. Like that's basically what they should.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but he made it seem like this 5% was just going to come out of his back pocket.
Just linger. Yeah, right. Right. That's crazy. But it kind of goes to show, like, this is what we were talking about previously. Like, we're talking about them basically going back and forth over 5-10%. Now, like 50-50 is perfect. Like 55-45 to the winner is perfect. Like I think that's a perfect number. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question before you finish? Who you think that 5% going to?
Oh no, it's going to Boots for sure. Like it's going to Boots for sure.
No, but in his mind, in Oscar De La Hoya's mind, who does just say the 60-40. How much of that 60-40 plus in his mind, his dude gonna win that 5%? How much of that is going does he feel like he's getting out of this purse? Because he's got to be he's not arguing on behalf of his guy, because we can see his guy's track record that he don't really care about his guy.
Well, I don't know what he meant by the 5 in terms of how he was thinking. All I know is that Boots is going to win the fight, so he going to have his 55%.
No, but I'm talking about originally, like when he says 60-40, like is he talking about he's taking that 20%? That's what he's arguing about, bro. He's arguing about the 20% he wants to walk off with.
I don't think he's arguing about that. I think he's arguing the actual purse. Like Ortiz gets 60%, Boots gets 40. If Boots wins the fight, then it's 55-45 Ortiz. If Ortiz wins the fight, then it's 65-35 or Virgil.
Listen to me. I get it. He's willing to give up 5 of that 20. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Though, like, I understand what you're saying, but it don't make sense, because I'm like, he's not going to get 20% out of that purse because the zone's involved. He's not. It don't even work like that. It don't work like that. We don't know what he got negotiated with Ortiz. We know Ortiz doesn't have the listen. That's their problem. That's their problem. No, that's the problem. He's trying to wiggle himself into this deal by still admitting to the 50-50. Because if you look at it, if you break down the 60-40, he gets his 20 from his situation. His guy technically still gets a 50-50 situation, because 40 still goes to Boots, 40% still goes to Ortiz. He's walking off with the 15 to the 20, depending on if his man wins. You understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. I really don't care about that though. Because at the end of the day, bro. At the end of the day, this is my point. At the end of the day, whatever Oscar got going on with Virgil Ortiz, that's outside of the zone. That's outside of the zone. That's outside of Boots. So when he's talking 60-40, right? That's the framework of the fight with all parties involved. Now, whatever percentage he got with Virgil, they can go out to dinner and go handle that. They go out to dinner and go handle that. But
that's my point. His greed is slowing up the process of saying 50-50, let's go. His greed.
I don't think it's greed. I don't think he wants to fight. I don't think he wants it.
That's what I'm saying. But if he's forced into it based on the streaming network putting their foot down, he's trying to get something out of it. Like he's trying to you know what I mean, pull a goddamn golf ball through a fucking garden hose.
But he's gonna eat regardless. So at worst, so let's look into it, right? So at worst, it's gonna be 50-50, right? Nobody's talking about Boots is going to get 60% or 65%. Like, we're talking, if this fight happens, it's probably 50-50. Like you said, like 55-45 to the winner, right? Even if they don't do that and they just say 50-50 across the board, it doesn't, the 5%, forget about that, right? It's 50-50. So even if that's the case and they promote this well, it does good at the gate. Let's just say it's in Vegas, it does good at the gate. It does good as far as pay-per-view, things like that. Like, he still is going to get a percentage of a boatload, like a boatload of money. If he's pressed over 5%, he need to go to the casino and just go bet on this guy. If it's that serious, he just need to go bet on this guy. If he wants extra bread.
I'm trying to figure out what is with all the jaw jacket and why it's the holdup. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is honestly almost bigger than any of the title fights that they would have in this division right now. This is a bigger fight than the unification getting ready to happen with Xander Zayas and Abaso. I'm hoping I'm saying old boy name correctly, Abaso. You know what I mean? Like, this is a bigger fight than that, and there's no belt on the line, and you're holding it up. It has to be a legitimate reason. The only one I could come up with is greed. And if you're throwing those numbers out there to me, the way he did, I maybe I'm overanalyzing it. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I saw it. It's like you're trying to make sure you wiggle and get yours off the top, and the results don't matter once you get yours off the top. Because at the end, it's still a 50-50 situation for your guy. And I could see him explaining it that way to Virgil Ortiz, who not going. The man is not stupid, obviously. No, I'm not going to say nobody. He just doesn't seem like he's the guy that's really running the numbers and crunching the numbers.
I mean, we talked about this earlier too, but the back and forth between Oscar and Virgil Ortiz manager is quite interesting as well, because the thing is, you could tell, and this also leads to my opinion of Oscar doesn't want to fight. If you listen to Virgil, he wants to fight. If you read what his manager said, he's like, I thought we had a deal done. But I think he's referencing what Eddie Hearn just said. I think he's referencing that closed door meeting that they had with his own. And he was like, he thought that they had a deal done. So Oscar's the only person in the room that's saying 60-40 with a 5%. Now,
and this, bro, it can't be because he wants to protect him. It can't because he thinks there's a future in that design plan that he had for his career up to this point. At some point, you're going to hit the wall. You're going to have to really take these big fights, these other major names, these other accomplished guys, and put your guy up in there against. You can't keep beating guys that somebody else beat already.
Hey, bro, you know another thing, bro? Just to kind of piggyback off of what you just said. So let's talk about Oscar, his statement in terms of like the other options that they have, right? So he said Earl Spence, right? That was the one opinion, and then he said Fundora, right? So let's unpack both of his other options, because Oscar said that Boots is in the plans, but it don't necessarily have to be next. But if you want it next, it got to be 60-40 Ortiz. So let's unpack it, right? Have you heard of any negotiations with Earl Spence?
Nah, bro. Right now, they talking Earl Spence, Tim Tszyu.
Correct. So, but you haven't heard anything about Earl Spence and Virgil Ortiz, correct?
I haven't heard nothing from PBC, Earl Spence, anybody even close to them saying that fight was something discussed.
Perfect. Now, and I'm only going through this process because I'm going to land. My land ain't going to look a lot better. All right. So let's go to Fundora.
I'm still with you, bro.
I got you. So let's go Fundora. Have you heard any negotiations with Virgil Ortiz and Fundora?
It impossible, because their negotiations has only been with Jose Suleiman, because he's been in 3 straight WBC interim so-called title bouts. So there is no negotiations going on with Fundora, because they're only getting shots at an interim situation, and I think it's just for the limelight aspect of it. It can't be a serious position type of thing, because there's been no next fight or no fight discussed. Jose Suleiman, as much as he talks, he hasn't said nothing about it.
Right. So there's no negotiations between Fundora and Virgil Ortiz. As far as we know, Fundora's next fight is going to be against Keith Thurman, which is going to be an in-house PBC fight. PBC gets to keep all the bread, right? So my landing is here. Oscar is talking about these other options, and I'm like, they're not real options. You have to cross the street for both of your other options. You got to talk to Al for both of your options. You got to talk to Al for both of your options. And to be honest with you,
and they've never worked together well.
And they never worked together well. On top of that, Al's going to want the majority of the stake if it's Spence. He's going to want at least 50-50 with Fundora because Fundora's the actual champion. He's probably going to want more than 50. So when you look at it, the 50-50 deal with Boots with 5% going to the winner, which is 55-45, that's actually might be the best numbers he can get.
And I'm going to be honest.
Best numbers he can get.
Bro, to be honest, it's a bigger fight than any of his other two so-called options. Maybe outside of Spence. Maybe outside of Spence because of that bandwagon. Maybe that support really is still there. It being if they would pull something like that off, being a Texas type of situation, Eddie, the boy Jones from the Cowboys, he want to be involved in something like that. He might have it neutral, maybe in Arlington somewhere or something like that. So because he's done that, he's dibbled in the sport before and got some big fights in a couple of stadiums, one or two, each of them, I think. But that being said, though, that could rival what's going on with Boots. But because I think Spence he's so cold in the streets, it'd take too much promotion money to get some real steam under a fight like that. And we know De La Hoya don't spend no money. So his options, he out of options.
That's
He's
what I'm
out of
saying,
options.
bro. That's why, and that's a good point that you made. And that's why I said all this talking that Oscar's doing, at the end of the day, it leads to a dead end. Because I'm like, if you want to talk about your other options, if you want to talk about Spence, you want to talk about Fundora, you got to go through Uncle Al for that. That's number one. Number two, PBC is the one that has the network deal, not you. You don't have a network deal. PBC does. Now, yes, you're linked up with DAZN. Yes, you're linked up with DAZN. But DAZN wants Boots. DAZN already said they're not paying for Spence. They're not paying for Fundora because if they sign off on either one of them fights, that means they got to take care of Al Heyman and PBC too, which is less out of their pocket. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you really unpack it, Oscar's all talk. That's why I said he's trying to duck. Everybody wants to fight with him. Everybody wanted with him.
You know what? Also, Brody, you know. All right, I'm back on. All right. You know what? Also, DAZN just went up in their prices, bro. They gotta have a fight like this, bro. They're almost in a bind, dealing with these promotions wanting to not cross the street, quote unquote. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, this got to come to an end because y'all all coming to us in the long run.
Hey, Vlog, you know another thing, bro? They're still recovering from that old Canelo contract. They still trying to recoup from that.
Word on the street. Word on the street. Shout out Martin.
Am I lying?
Man, no. I've read a couple articles about that. That's why they went up. This is why they went up, and this is why they developed that tier thing. They're trying to get it in pockets at a minimum. Like, instead of just having a flat out plan where they're subject to lose subscribers, they was like, the tier thing was actually very smart to actually try to get something in the middle ground and try to start recovering from that contract, bro. That was like, what was that? 100?
Yeah, 100 something million.
Yeah, 140 something. Yeah, 140 something crazy.
Bro,
that motherfucker had a baseball contract.
Yo, he definitely had a baseball contract for sure. But the thing that's crazy is that Boots and Virgil would do so well in Vegas. Like the gate gonna be crazy. The great because it's like because here's the thing though, bro. Follow me on this. Boots not only, of course, he has Philly, right? But you got people in Jersey that rock with it, people in Baltimore that rock with it, people in New York love Boots. They love Boots. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much East Coast wise, Boots that dude. Like everybody really fuck with Boots. So if they put Boots in Vegas, there's a lot of people that's gonna travel outside of Philly. People are gonna travel. Then you
To
got
agree with you,
but
to agree with you, East Coast people travel more than West Coast people do.
that's a
Quiet
fact.
as kept.
That's a fact.
Quiet as
That's a
kept.
fact. That's a fact. And the thing is, with Virgil, yes, got Texas on lock and all that. But just because of his heritage alone, they're gonna travel. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how
And
if they put that in Vegas, Vegas gonna be lit. Vegas gonna
and
be lit.
he already has a built-in pocket. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just
He's gonna be lit.
everything west of the Mississippi, he can draw a crowd.
He can draw.
Technically, as
He's
long
gonna
as
draw
it's
a
not too
crowd.
north. As long as it's not
Yeah,
too north.
them two together would really, really, really create something special in terms of an event. Because I think the actual fight going to be a really good fight in terms of action. It's going to be a really good action fight. Because Virgil going to go in there and work. It's just Boots going to put out the better work. Virgil going to go in there and work. He always
Oh yeah,
works. Every single fight, he going to work.
Virgil showed me something in the Boacek fight. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie. Virgil
going to work.
I'm still down on the resume situation, but if y'all check my video, I was honest. Yes, I said that was a very solid victory. Technically, I thought he lost, but performance-wise, he showed. Remember how you were saying Boots got to show something like that? He showed something like that. That
Yeah.
I got to work through this. I got to overcome this. I get what you're saying. That's a part of the game. But when you're as good as Boots is, you've never seen that obstacle. You like, what is that? I don't go around that way, man. We go this way. I'm just saying.
The thing about
I know what you mean, though.
It's just, yeah, like that's going to be an excellent fight because, Ortiz is going to come to work. Boots is going to showcase what he need to showcase. And it's going to be an all action fight. Like you've never seen Boots in a boring fight. Boots is going to put that action out there, and so is Ortiz, man. And I think that's a fight where nobody's actually going to lose. Like that event is going to be a big event, and both guys are going to end up winning. So if Boots goes in there and just lights up Virgil Ortiz, now we got to talk Boots in terms of within the next 12 months, he might be one of the faces of the sport. I mean, legit one of the faces of the sport. That's what we talking about. But if Virgil Ortiz gets an upset, now we're talking possible rematch. We're talking possible trilogy. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's going to go good either way. That's why I say the fight needs to happen. The fight needs to happen.
I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
The fight's going down. It's going down. There's
it's gonna happen.
No way.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, somebody's going to take their shoe and put it in De La Hoya's mouth and go sit him down in the corner, and they're going to sign their paperwork. Right. That being said, is this fight bigger than Shakur Teofimo?
No.
Okay.
No. Not right now. I think maybe if we look back in terms, it depends on the result. Going into the fight, no. Going into the fight, no. But this could be a fight.
I'm talking about across the board. I mean, financially, what fight do you anticipate to be better? And then historically, I think you just answered it for me.
I got you. I'm gonna answer it. In terms of financially, I think first of all, let me say this. From what I've been reading, Shakur and Teofimo's doing pretty good ticket wise. They're on the verge of selling out from what I've been reading. Okay. So that's definitely good with them, especially with I think is lack of promotion, and hopefully they'll turn it up last week, basically fight week. But them selling in New York versus you selling in Vegas is two different types of sell, if you know what I mean. Like it's more money in Vegas than it is in New York from a boxing standpoint. So that ticket and that gate is a little bit different. So if Boots and Ortiz goes to Vegas and they do what I think they can do, I think it can be comparable in terms of the money aspect. I think it can be comparable with Shakur and Teofimo. Now, in terms of legacy, I think Teofimo and Shakur, they're going to be talked about right now. But if Boots gets to where we think Boots is going to get to, which is he's going to be the face of the sport, based off of Boots' performance, if he has a dynamic performance against a Virgil Ortiz, this fight could stick out a little bit more than Teofimo and Shakur, depending on how far Boots get in his career. So that's kind of a wait and see, with that as well. But it really depends on how good that Boots and Ortiz fight is. The better the fight is, the closer they can get to Shakur and Teofimo. But obviously, Shakur and Teofimo have the better names at the moment, the more popular names at the moment. So their fight will be highlighted a little bit more. But I think as time goes on, it could flip. It could flip. Because I think Virgil's a good fighter, man. I think he's a good fighter. I think he just has a cap. But I don't think Boots has a cap. I think his ceiling is. I think he don't have no roof. He don't have no roof.
I can answer my own question. I think money wise, it's a bigger fight. I think just the Mexican base supports a bit more than I think the Puerto Rican base does. Like even in the, you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? So I think money-wise, it's going to be a bigger fight. Now, legacy-wise, because it's not a really clash of styles. It's like Boots is the style, and then can Ortiz overcome that with his heart and all of that? So I think with we talking legacy and what could be accomplished in the ring, I think Teofimo and Shakur could be a better long run legacy wise as far as basically performances, because both of them got to do their thing, but it's going to be more of a chess match. So it's a little bit flip floppy for me as far as what fight is better. It's 50-50.
A question before we dip up out of here, because we about close to an hour 40 minutes in. Let's just say Boots. Let's just say, for some reason, Virgil doesn't happen. Would you be opposed to Boots going back down to 47 to go see a Devin Haney?
I wouldn't do it. It's about legacy. That's just a money grab. I don't think that's a legacy fight. You know what I mean? I think you wait on Xander Zayas. That's going to be the bigger fight. Obviously, the bigger name does have a base, even if it's semi-small. But Puerto Rico, they do support their fighters. But I just think because of the mass spread out the way the Mexican base is, especially on the west side of the country, it's a bit more of a base to support their fighter. And this they got right now, Canelo Shell, they gonna be all out for this fight. Trust me. You know what I mean? So I just think that's gonna be the better. I would sit back and wait on it too. You already got the money.
Yeah,
I would wait on that unification because I think it's supposed to come up.
You think Uncle Bob going? You think he signed off on that?
He ain't gonna have no choice. He's shopping his dudes around now. He trying to pull in some money. He ain't got nowhere to put them. ESPN and them.
Bro, and I'm glad you said that, bro. And obviously we gonna have to probably do maybe not a show, but maybe like a video where we're talking about the landscape in terms of networks. Because the thing is, Turkey Al-Sheikh, like he's a power broker, but he's not a network. Like it's not Turkey TV. You understand what I'm saying? It's not Turkey TV. Like we need in boxing, and I don't want to get long-winded into this, but we grew up with multiple networks funding boxing, which kept boxing rolling. So for us, vlog, we had HBO, we had Showtime, we had USA, we had
USA, yep.
Tuesday night fights.
Spike
We had Spike
for a few years.
Spike for a few years. We also, I mean, I'm talking like back in the day, like I'm talking like Pernell Whitaker, you know, back in the day. Pernell Whitaker. I know Pernell Whitaker, one of my favorite fights of all time, just personal favorites, was Pernell Whitaker when he fought Roger Mayweather in his hometown of Virginia. That fight was on
ABC.
That fight was on
I remember that fight. Yeah, I remember that fight.
And in the premium channels, they picked some premier fights, and they was like, okay, we don't have our foot all the way in, but if it's a fight that we like, we gonna go get that. We gonna go get that. And I feel like that's what we're missing at the moment. I love what Turkey Al-Sheikh is doing. I love what he's doing. But we ultimately need these networks to actually get along with the ride. I would love to see HBO get back in the business. I would love to see Showtime get back in the business under different circumstances. They got out of the business because of Al. They got out of the business because of Al. That's facts. They got out of the business because of Al. If they get back in the business under a guy like a Turkey Al-Sheikh, HBO would be popping. Showtime would be popping. Hell, Spike would be popping. Listen, and then listen. Imagine Pro Box TV was with a little bit more money, because they put on some good cars.
Yeah, they're trying to be Tuesday night fights right now.
They're trying to be right.
They on Fridays. You know, big shout out to them for what they do. You know what I mean? They have some scraps on there. I ain't gonna fraud you.
They I don't think they good scraps.
I ain't gonna fraud. I don't think I've seen the star on there yet. You know what I mean? They have to mix their roster up a little bit more. A lot of Latin competition. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that, because it's people all races that fight in this sport. I just think they have to mix it up just a little bit more. Their fight cards, a couple Caucasians on there. They have to find the stars themselves too. So they need to do a little bit too.
Hey, bro, you know what was probably their biggest fight, the biggest names on their card as far as Pro Box? Jared Hurd. When Jared Hurd fought what's my man that can't take the body shots?
Rosario.
Jason Rosario.
Yeah,
that fight was on Pro Box. That might have been their biggest fight ever in terms of like names. That might have been the two biggest names that they've had. And that was a good fight. That was a good scrap. That was a good scrap. But I get what you're saying though, bro. Like they need
more diversified cards.
They need more diversity as far as their cards, and they need a couple of semi-big names to come back
to really build themselves.
Yeah,
to get because people got from Tuesday night fights to HBO.
Correct.
That is like if Pro Box finds a guy or two that they can say, yo, give us 3 fights, do your thing, this gonna catapult you.
Right. So for the people that's listening and the people that's gonna listen to the playback, if you're a part of the younger generation, and I'm talking probably like 35 and under, this would be equivalent. Pro Box is equivalent to what we had in Tuesday night fights, and even Showbox. Showbox is a good comparison as well to Pro Box TV, and we need more Pro Box TV because we don't have the HBOs. We don't have the Showtimes. We don't have the Spikes and these networks. That's why I said I love what Al Heyman has done in its totality, but he screwed up a lot of boxing business. He screwed up a lot of boxing business because he's burnt down some bridges in terms of networks that we actually need now, because there's so many fighters and there's so few networks to actually get these fights going. if the more networks we have, the better off we'll be in terms of the sport. You know, at the end of the day, all the big time sports have the networks. The networks are not the problem. So you can get, if it's football, you can get football all over the place. You know, if it's basketball, you can get basketball all over the place. If it's baseball, you can get it all over the place. Boxing's really the only place where it's like you really only got 2 or 3 homes where you can go, and all of them are not necessarily huge deals. You know, even if I like Netflix getting involved. I like Paramount. But the thing is, with Al Heyman and them having a deal over there with them, they probably have a non-compete clause to where maybe Turkey probably can't take it to a Paramount or to a Netflix. I would love to see Turkey with a Netflix because they money crazy. They money's absolutely crazy. Like
both of them, yeah,
Turkey,
both of them.
Turkey on Netflix or Paramount or Amazon, that would go stupid, bro.
Man.
Boxing would be when they say boxing, they waiting for boxing to be back. I think everybody, if we talking that type of money, like everybody would be willing to fight everybody because everybody gonna get a bag. The money gonna be flowing crazy. There ain't gonna be no politics, no nothing. Like the money's gonna be crazy. But that's why I say I didn't want to get long-winded because I'm kind of passionate about that topic. You know what I'm saying? Because we just love the sport. We want to see what's best for the sport. And when the sport is in a better place, we get better fights, we get better product, which means you'll see more of Vlog and myself on the screen because we got a lot more to talk about and a lot more fights to cover, man. But we gonna skate about this joint, man. We are hour 47 strong. You know what I'm saying? This was definitely a good one for sure. So Vlog, definitely appreciate you stopping through, man, giving your time, your insight towards everything that's going on in terms of boxing right now, man. Please get them your social media, let them know what's going on with you right now and what do you have planned over the next couple of days.
Man, we're gonna get into this card coming up on the 24th. Do some breakdown prediction videos. We're gonna keep our ear in the streets and see what the hot stories is. Obviously, we on Instagram, so look me up. Boxing, use the #1 ST Vlog. I'm posting crazy, obviously keeping everything what it is, truthful, honest, blunt. You know what I mean? So, and check me out on Threads too, man. Same one. Boxing First, the #1 ST Vlog, baby.
Hey, Vlog got a new logo on his joint too, man. So if you used to seeing the original logo, Vlog does have another logo on his channel. So when you type that out, you'll see a different logo for him. So just be on the lookout for that. I don't want y'all to be looking for you don't see the old logo, so you're thinking it's not him. Like actually click on it. You type in Boxing First Vlog, like he's gonna come up. So definitely click on that. You'll see the new logo, layout, all of that. Definitely go check out his video on Virgil Ortiz and Virgil Ortiz resume. I mean, I definitely got a couple of messages in regards to that. They were going at me in terms of the Stanionis and the Stanionis having Madrimov. I had to go to. I ain't go to war, but I had to drop a couple. I had to drop a couple comments. They hit me with a. It was kind of like a hindsight 2020 type joint, man. Had a guy tell me. He said, well, with Madrimov, you can only mention the he don't have no resume. Like you mention Madrimov, you only mention the losses. And I had to respond to him, and I said, that same resume that you're dismissing, that same resume got him the Crawford fight. And he was considered top 2 at 154 at the time of the fight. So I'm like, but I had to make it clear. I was like, I'm not saying that Madrimov is like levels above a Stanionis or anything like that. They're definitely comparable. And on top of that, I was like, you can make the claim. Actually, from a technical standpoint, Stanionis has the better quote unquote resume because he was a world champion. and he won the championship inside of the ring. I'll never take that away from any fighter. Any fighter that wins their belt inside of the ring, you have to give them maximum credit. It don't matter who they won the belt against. You have to give them maximum credit at the end of the day. But a lot of people don't give Boots credit for that Stan Jonas win. And I'm like, that's the point that I really wanted to get to, because I'm like, Stan Jonas was a champion at that particular time. And Stan Jonas was and still is a solid fighter. Solid fighter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, two things can be true at the end of the day. I was like, Madrimov is a really good 154-pound fighter, but Stan Jonas was a champion at 47. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you have to give Boots that. You have to give Boots that credit for that victory, just like I give Bud credit for the Madrimov win, because Madrimov not an easy puzzle to figure out. You know what I'm saying? But definitely go check that video out from a vlog in terms of Virgil Ortiz and his resume. I think you probably need to do that with more fighters, bro. Actually break down people's resumes, and I'm not talking about the whole jacket, just maybe the last 5, 10. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of people's like records, you don't know about 70% of them fights anyway. You just see them on you just see them on BoxRec. You ain't never see the fights, none of that stuff. A lot of them wasn't even televised. You know what I mean? Like, especially early in their career, man. But that was a damn good video, man. Definitely go check that out. Make sure you're subscribed to Boxing First Vlog. I gotta get the link. I'm gonna copy the link to your channel, and I'm actually get it on here because StreamYard actually has they have a clickable link that I can put up, but it'll go right to your channel. So next time we do a show, we can have that in the corner. We'll have a segment where people can actually go in and actually get the subscriptions up and come down to your channel. And pretty much go from there, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate all the support.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm all over the place, man. YouTube, X, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, wherever there's social media involved, I'm on it. Everything G5 Jeff TV, man. We got fights coming up this weekend. We got fights coming up next weekend. We got the big card coming up at the end of the month. So
I think the biggest one coming down this week is gonna be the Australian little card though. We got the young Nikita Zoo and the boy Michael Zarafa. So I got a preview up there too. So y'all go ahead and check out the channel, man. I got some good work up there right now.
Yeah, that's a good fight too. Even fight, man. So that's definitely one that's worth covering, man. We got so much to cover in the month of January, man, for boxing. So definitely be on the lookout for Boxing First Vlog. Make sure you have your notifications on too once you subscribe. Hit the notification bell and make sure you click all, because it goes to, if you don't switch it, it's going to say personalized, which means you're not going to get all the Boxing First Vlogs content. So you have to click the bell. Like, you have to click the bell and you have to click all after you subscribe. That means you're going to get, every time he drops a video, you're going to get a message on your phone. You're going to get a notification. Hey, Boxing First Vlog just dropped a video. I need you to go check that out. So make sure you set up your notifications correctly so you don't miss any of Vlog's videos. Obviously do that on mine as well. We'll probably do some joint videos as well for some of these fights. We're gonna have to slap something up on the gram, man. Go live on the gram or something real quick, especially when a hot topic drop. The thing is, bro, like, we can do Instagram live. The only thing that I don't like about Instagram live, especially if you're going through StreamYard, is you can't see Instagram's comments on StreamYard. That's the part that sucks. So you would have to go exclusively on Instagram live and not be on anything else. And until they fix that, they gotta fix that. That's the only reason I don't go on live on Instagram through StreamYard, because they could be comment. I went on there once and it was a show we was popping to, Like, and I went on there one time and I went and checked the video out after we got off of the stream. I had like 12, 13 comments. I couldn't see them because I wasn't looking at my phone at the time. They weren't popping up on the screen. So it's some technical. You know how on Facebook you can see it, YouTube you can see it, all that.
Yeah.
Instagram, they don't have that yet, man. So it's, you know, kind of.
We'll work it out somehow. We'll
work it out.
Yeah, we'll keep diversifying the pot. You know what I mean? Keep cooking up for y'all. Definitely bringing y'all the hot boxing conversation. Give us some knowledge too. I'm dropping gems. I'm dropping
absolutely
gems.
So we, you know, we're gonna continue to do that, you know, as often as possible. But we need for y'all to tap in as well, man. Definitely need y'all to tap in. So on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, man, and your boy G5 Jeff TV, this is episode 11 of Throw the Hook podcast, man. We're gonna see y'all probably we'll try to get one in by hopefully before the weekend is out, because it's just too much to cover. So just follow us on social media, follow us on YouTube, man. We're gonna keep y'all tapped in. We're gonna see y'all for episode 12. We out.
Peace.